Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So, Bitcoin holders and those of you guys that are in the US, brace for Hurricane Milton. This is one of the only, I believe, a handful of Category 5 hurricanes that we've had that will be hitting our Gulf Coast in the near future. So let's talk about how this is going to affect things and how everything else today affected things and whether or not this is canceling Uptober. Let's talk about all these things and more. All right, let's do it. Welcome, guys. Man, unfortunately, this morning, while I was streaming, we pumped up from like 63, we were like somewhere around here, 63.4, 63.3. We went up to like 64.4. Then afterwards, we slid down, and now we're a little bit lower at 62.6. Although we didn't lose all gains, we have some winners, like Sol is still higher at 145. You got Sui that's still at like 210. Sui is just so damn hot right now, and it just continued to go. So a lot of the alts actually held on their gains really well. Near held on their gains really well. FET did too. So a lot of the alts did hold on their gains quite well today, despite Bitcoin falling back down. So that's a win. But let's talk about why did Bitcoin fall down today? And there are many reasons. First of all, the US market, tanked. It started out way in the green, and then it started going down, right? Obviously, you see all the red. MicroStrategy, though, still held on to plus 5.5%. At one point this morning when I was streaming, it was at 8.5%. Something was going on with MicroStrategy this morning, okay? But everything else started turning red because I think it's due to this, okay? We don't get a lot of Category 5 hurricanes. So this is a major concern. A lot of people in Florida, they are boarding up their windows, their doors. Category 5s are no joke. This is going to hit Orlando, Tampa, many major cities in Florida. So who knows what the devastation will be, right? So prayers to everyone in Florida. Hopefully you are safe or you've gotten out of there. Actually for IFC, one of our fighters is flying out. So, and he lives in Tampa. A lot of KC people also live in Florida. So I know this is affecting a lot of people. So a lot of people are really concerned by this. So this definitely is going to have effect. So I saw a news report earlier that said that we only had, I think, 5 Category 5s in the Gulf ever in history. And it's no joke. Sustained wind speeds of 175 miles per hour. This is not like 70 or 80 or 100. 175 miles per hour winds. That's insane. That is really insane. So yeah, I think a lot of it was due to this. I mean, anticipation of the devastation to come, right? So yeah, so that's not good. That's not good at all. And of course, outside the US, I know this is US based. A lot of you guys are not in the US. But outside the US, of course, we still have other things going on, such as the war. Barrels of oil continues to go up. People are still waiting for Israel to attack, retaliate against Iran. And there's other factors at play, right? So there's still other things that go. So far, my point is the first week of October, or aka Uptober, has not been good. Okay, we've had many setbacks, distractions, so to speak, right? That is holding the market down. But when you think about it, even with all these distractions, the Bitcoin and crypto is still pretty good. It's still trying to break above with October, even though we have a lot of distractions trying to hold it down. But there's definitely a lot of buy pressure going on right now, right? So, I mean, despite everything, I mean, we're still in a really good shape, I would say. Today also, if you look at the inflows, pretty darn good in terms of ETFs. 103 million from Fidelity. All the others added together, 137 million. We don't know BlackRock's numbers yet until tomorrow. It could be absolutely massive. So again, today was a pretty darn good day, and we could still flip upwards. It looks like Bitcoin wants to flip upwards. So again, we can get back up. But like right now, I think there are a lot of concerns about what's going on in the Middle East. And of course, those of us in the US, concerns about what's going to happen in Florida and the devastation that may come. Right? So, yeah, that's what's going on. Now, as for Bitcoin, obviously I said inflows pretty darn good today. Also, we got other good things, very good things, okay? Build up for the remaining of this year. FTX Distribution Plan, approved. In fact, there will be more distributed than lost. I don't know how they accomplished this, but everything that was lost, they have found, and they're giving out interest, and they will be giving out around $16.5 billion back. Okay, now, it's not going to be that quick. Most people will be in 2025, but those that have lost 50,000 or under will start getting distributions probably sometime in November. And they will be getting it in the form of cash, not FTT token, not Bitcoin, not something that they can sell off. They will get it in cash, which means a lot of people that will be getting it will probably be using it to buy crypto with, right? So that is a lot of money waiting to come back into the market between next month, November, and next year, approximately $16.5 billion worth. Quite a lot. So that is good news. That is good news. Another piece of good news that came out today, there's a country, Bahrain, in the Middle East that I did not know of. Population of 1.5 million. Looks quite nice. They decided to embrace Bitcoin too. Today, their national bank launched a Bitcoin investment fund. Okay, so again, we're starting to see countries embrace Bitcoin in a big way. Obviously, El Salvador kind of kicked it off. But now we're starting to see all these other countries do the same thing. So they not only launched a Bitcoin investment fund, okay, but they also granted Crypto.com, which is a partner of mine, payment services provider license, which is awesome as well, right? So they are going all in, letting people buy crypto, and they are embracing Bitcoin, right? They're going to load up on Bitcoin. See, everyone is starting to load up. This is a game of accumulation, okay? Between retail investors, institutions, whales, countries, everyone. Everyone is in this game of accumulation. MicroStrategy, they are in this game. 5 years ago, MicroStrategy only had about 500 million in cash. Okay. Then Michael Saylor said, you know what? We got to change it up. We're going nowhere. Okay. Our business is stale. Our stock is stale. We're not doing anything. He decided to embrace Bitcoin. Now they have over $15 billion in Bitcoin. Their stock is up 1,200%. And today I just showed you they're up 5.5% when everything else is down. So the Bitcoin strategy obviously has worked. In a short amount of time, they have become the darling of Wall Street. They're setting an example for others. And that's why so many have followed, right? So obviously it has worked and they continue to load up. So it's a game of accumulation and they are a huge participant and they will not stop. Saylor will not stop. He said he's not going to stop until, I think, what was his number? 8 million. He said he'll stop buying Bitcoin when it hits $8 million, something like that. And I don't know when that's going to be, but it could be soon. No, I'm kidding. It's not going to be that soon, but eventually, but not that soon. And in terms of MicroStrategy, it's a leading signal. Like today, MicroStrategy is not far off from its previous high, okay? So today, at one point in time, it was closing in at 192, 199, 192. Its previous high of this year was 200. And it formed it in March, right when Bitcoin was at 73,000. So MicroStrategy is a leading indicator of Bitcoin at this point. It does move a little bit quicker. So MicroStrategy is not that far off. When it breaks its previous high of this year, guess what? Bitcoin is going to do the same. I mean, it's just a matter of time. There are still some that doubt that Bitcoin is going to go higher. They are sorely mistaken. We are going to go a lot higher. Uptober is not canceled. Even though we had another setback today, let's keep in mind, today is only the 7th. We are still in the first week of October. We're not in the second week yet. We're still in the first week. The first week is still not over, and it doesn't matter. Even if we're in the second week or the third week, until October is over, Uptober is still in play. We have seen this playbook way too many times to just call it over after a single week. Bitcoin changes its mood, its sentiment, its trajectory all the time. And we're not even in a bad position, honestly. We're in a really good position. And plus, central banks, they're about to inject a whole lot of liquidity into their economies. We know China has already started. US is starting. A lot of big central banks around the world are doing so because the economies around the world are just not doing well. So a lot of central banks are doing this. And guess what happens to Bitcoin when they start doing that? Just look at a correlation. Every time they do it, what happens to Bitcoin? It starts skyrocketing. It correlates with each parabolic run every single time. Yep. Stablecoin supply also going up. And you could also factor that in as well. Stablecoin supply goes up, Bitcoin's price and crypto supply price goes up too. There's a lot of signals indicating that we are going to go higher. And like I said, Uptober is not canceled. Just because we had a little setback does not mean Uptober is canceled, okay? We started out this month pretty bad. We have a lot of geopolitical stuff going on and macro stuff going on. It's hard to overcome an entire country shutting down because of strikes. It's hard to overcome the Middle East getting into deeper conflict. And now it's hard to overcome a Category 5 hurricane that's about to devastate one of our states. These are things out of our control, right? And it's all happening within a single week. But you know what? We're still in a very good spot. We will get through it, right? These are distractions when it comes to Bitcoin. And Bitcoin will continue to move forward and higher because the demand is higher and the supply is getting lower. It's really that simple. All right. Now, outside of Bitcoin, we know that AI is very hot. A lot of you guys may have noticed, well, outside of Sui, which is not an AI, But like a lot of these other plays, like Near is really hot, like Render is very hot, BitTensor is hot. You know, a lot of these AI related plays are very hot, right? That may be contributed by this, or maybe because they're hot, which contributed to this. I don't know which comes first, the chicken or the egg. But Grayscale does have a decentralized AI fund, which has those Near, Render, Filecoin. What's LPT and BitTensor? What's LPT? I don't know. What Graph is in there too? I don't even know what LPT is. But anyways, a lot of the other ones that I do know are in there. So I'll have to look that up. I just look it up right now. What is L? Oh, live peer. Yeah, live peer. Well, anyway, so a lot of times when you have a new fund with Grayscale, it does tend to move. Sui did get its own trust too. That's why maybe it did move. So AI is going to be a big part, obviously. NVIDIA is leading the way. All the big tech companies going all in on AI. So obviously a lot of the AI plays in crypto will follow. So it's a no-brainer, right? All right. And then lastly, I saw this. Robinhood's top lawyer may replace SEC Chairman Gensler under Trump. Interesting. Interesting. Dan Gallagher. This guy right here. Yeah. Yep. Gensler's gone. Gensler's gone either way. All right. Let's do some Q&A. All right. Let me see. Someone sent a super chat. Check out Caspi. Do you mean Caspa or Caspi? Is Caspi? Never heard of before. Yeah, I think you mean Caspa. I'm neutral on Caspa. Mongman, did you get an MRI on my knee? Yeah, many times. Before I had some meniscus torn up, had to remove it, and then my ACL tore, so I had to get a new ACL, remove the meniscus. Now I have some arthritis. It's a lot better now, to be honest. It's a lot better now. Ever since I started cutting out most of my carbs, it's gotten a lot better. I've been exercising a little bit more. I haven't pushed it too much, but it is a lot better now than before. Do you think AVAX can hit 100 billion market cap this cycle? You know what? A 10x from here? I think it's possible. It depends on how high Bitcoin goes, but I think it is possible. And follow-up question, what is your opinion on a future AVAX conference in Buenos Aires? I've never been one before. I don't know. I was invited, but I'm tired from traveling. This week I got to travel too. So I'm just so tired of traveling. So I really don't want to go to Buenos Aires. I don't want to go to Argentina. So can Sui do a 10x bull run? Yes, even though it's already gone so much. I worry Sui has come up so much so fast. So I just like worry a little bit, So At some point, it's going to cool off a little bit, but like even today, after Bitcoin went down, it did not go down. It's still holding. It's at number 18 now. This is just going bonkers right now. So I think Sui still could go more, obviously, but I'd be a little careful. I recently I've been playing a lot of leverage on Sui. I've made a lot of money on Sui. Um, by doing smaller leverage plays. But yeah, at some point, I think it's going to level out. Um, let's see. Yeah, Sui has gone up too fast. It really has. I told you guys a story, right? Like maybe like 3 weeks ago. Two no, like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, before it really started pumping. I've heard from someone that they were doing OTC deal. They were offering like a 50% discount to a lot of KOLs. So I think that kicked things off. But even before then, they got a trust that from Grayscale that kicked things off. But I'm sure they've also been doing other things in their ecosystem. I think they upgraded to um, and I went to their base camp earlier this year, and I was actually quite impressed. It was their first base camp. Their ecosystem was bigger than I expected. Their TVL is actually growing by leaps and bounds. So they're definitely a good project, but I'm just worried they come up really fast, really, really fast. I mean, look at that. They went from here to here really fast within a month. At some point, they're going to cool off, right? But they're like right at their all time high right now. So those that are feeling the FOMO, you may want to like wait, let it cool off or settle down a little bit before FOMOing in. Like I just feel like it's going to cool off at some point. But I still have some of my leverage plays open on it. All right, Sonny. Hopefully, I answered that question. Mayton Rotter, do you think Avalanche? Wait, I answered that question already. And then, how high can Sui go by December 2024? And how high do you see memes performing by end of this year? Everything could go up really a lot. Okay, Debo Deep. I think Bitcoin is going to be six figures by the end of this year. And if that's going to happen, memes will do absolutely fantastic. They will go bonkers. Okay. Money will be flowing in like crazy. So, the one who cares, Jasmine. I think you spelled that wrong. It's Jasmine with a Y. Um, Yeah, I don't know if that's the one you're talking about. I'm not a fan of it. It was too shilled when it first came out, so I actually blocked it. Advice on using leverage with higher amounts of dollars. It doesn't matter if it's higher amounts or lower amounts. They could get liquidated just as fast. Trust me. I've played with higher amounts before, especially in March and April. the reason why I bought my G-Wagon was a treat to myself because I made like, you know, a couple $100,000 within a few months on leverage. Because when everything's going up, it's easy. But when things come down, you lose it just as fast. So it does not matter. You got to be disciplined. I mean, it's a greed. It's a game of greed, really. Honestly, it's much better to be more disciplined. Everyone loves to do like, you know, go a 15x, 20x long and try to make big money, but you know, it's much safer to do like smaller plays, 5x, something like that, and set stop losses and so forth. But usually people become greedier and then they start going up 7x, 8x, 10x, and that's when you have one drop and it liquidates you. And stop losses are annoying too because a lot of times you see like these random spikes out of nowhere. You will get stop lossed out. You lose money, then you have to reopen it, and then, you know, if you get stop loss enough, you just lose a lot of money. So it gets aggravating, and then you want to open it without stop loss. You know, like, again, it's just like a game of greed. I don't know. Like, overall, I think based on all my trading, I'm still probably down. Like, I think my biggest mistake, honestly, if I never traded ever, I'd probably be way up. I only do it because I'm really bored, and it's like me being a degen, honestly. So like, I just highly recommend, if you're going to do it, do small leverage, small amounts, and try to be disciplined. If you make money, take it out. Try not to leave too much in there. Lazaro, appreciate that. Valentine, thank you. Cruisin, recently Coinbase put Degen coin on the roadmap, one of the few base tokens on Coinbase. Any thoughts on this meme play? No, I haven't really paid attention to it. Degen is even listed. This is one of the reasons why everyone wants to be on base chain, because there's a chance it could be listed on Coinbase. 115 million. I mean, it's a small cap at this point. I've never heard of Degen coin. The circulating supply is only 38% out of the total. That's not good for a meme. Usually it's just all 100% out. So that's not good. Meme with the dream. There's only, let's look at Deck Screener. It didn't even go to it. Well, someone holds 42%. I don't know who that is. And then two holds 5%. It's not very decentralized, I'll tell you that. Yeah, I don't know what address this is. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to say no to this. Blop and plop on Sui. Yeah, I don't pay attention to memes on Sui. I'm sorry. Am I bullish on Beam? Sort of. Until the gaming narrative picks up again, no. So I'm going to be neutral on them. Gaming narrative really needs to pick up. Like, gaming just is not hot. Not at all. They have a subchain on Avalanche. So if Avalanche picks up or Beam picks up, it's going to help Avalanche or it's going to help Beam. One or the other. They're like complementary to each other. Overall, they're not doing too bad. All right, guys. I'll let you go. Hopefully, those of you guys that aren't in Florida, prepare yourselves. Be safe. Get out of there if you can, or if you can't, just be safe. But, yeah. So, besides this, there are still many other things at play that brought us down, that's holding us back. But it's just a matter of time, guys. Stay strong, stay focused, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same time as usual, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Hattie, I'm going to skip your price prediction for Injective and just say it's going to go higher. The one who cares, if leveraging, never short Bitcoin. I agree with that. All right. Have a good night, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.